everybody. Welcome into ONTrack Weekly. I hope you're not melting out there. It's a little bit toasty. It's been toasty for a couple of days, and unfortunately, that has impacted some things in racing, but luckily, it has not impacted ONTrack Weekly tonight, as we will welcome in a couple of different guests tonight. We're very excited to welcome in Hannah Lamont from the Bone Stocks out at Delaware Speedway. She'll join us. We have hot rod racer Brian Wilson Jr. He's going to join us from Full Throttle Motor Speedway. Chris Lawrence was out at Grand Bend this weekend. We'll hear a little bit from Chris on how that went. Carson Nagy, the super stock, I want to say he's probably the best in the province right now. Had an amazing race on Friday night at Delaware Speedway and continues to be strong in the Dayco Superstocks. And then, of course, one of the best stories of the weekend, Megan Mitchell out at Flamborough Speedway. We'll talk to her about her great run and the comeback season that she's basically been having this year. It's been a very impressive run for her. But speaking of impressive runs, we're going to bring on Hannah Lamont, and Hannah did something that I know she's pretty excited about, which is the fact that first ever heat win at Delaware Speedway in her very Lifto Limited sponsored car in the Lifto Limited Bone Stocks. Hannah, the interview said it all, that it was exactly what you needed, I think, to get your season back on track. Obviously, a week before, involved in Delaware always seems to have one, the big one, and unfortunately, it did seem to get people involved. So, how are you feeling now that the weekend is over and you're looking at it with a clean car at the end of the day and a heat race victory?
Well, to be honest with you, Cam, I'm hoping that I can maybe improve even more. I hope that this Friday coming that I can take it out, maybe get another heat win but potentially what I'm looking at is to possibly finish in the top 10. I mean, I got a top 16 last Friday, but I just want to keep trying and keep trying to build my goals. I don't ever want to stop.
No, and definitely not. I think that's one of the things that is admirable. And I know when Jeremy was interviewing you on Rogers, you you apologized to me afterwards because you said your emotions were just so prevalent. But for those that don't know, that car was destroyed. Um,
Yeah.
it was destroyed. You came into that wreck late. You didn't really have anywhere to go except for to pile right into. I think it was Race Meyer that you got. But to go from one week where things are like that to the week after, and it wasn't a foregone conclusion because the 333 of Liam Bichelle was keeping you honest for a good part of that race. But getting out in front and being able to build a lead is something that you haven't been able to experience before. What was that like at Delaware, especially? It's a little different than Grand Bend.
It is. It's a lot different. I mean, I've led maybe 3 laps before. This was a long time ago. It was in my old bone stock. But actually, right after that whole night, I went over and I walked over to my old car and I said, well, we did it. We finally got our first heat win. I mean, it may have not have been in that car, but it was definitely in another fast contending car. And right after that heat finish, I was like, we did it. We
Yeah.
finally did it. We accomplished it. And I mean, Liam Bombshell, he gave me a little tap, but I kept it going strong. I needed that little push and I needed that little reminder that I wasn't just by myself. I was with a whole field of people. And don't get me wrong, it may have not have been the most fast heat,
hmm
but there was still a lot of great cars. And at the end of the day, I'm just another driver out on that racetrack.
Yep.
And driving with all those drivers and getting to know who they are, or the people that I race with, they're all amazing people, and on the track, we're all just there for one thing and one thing only, just to win and see each other succeed. And it was amazing night just to have everybody come down and wish me a congrats on getting my first ever heat win. I couldn't have done it without all the support from everybody who supports me, like my dad putting all that time back in the car, and my mom spending the money, and my boyfriend repainting the hood and redoing the bumper. Wow, like I couldn't believe it, that whole car being realigned. And like you said, Kim, we went from being a totaled car to coming back together and looking completely aligned. My dad got a little bit of a cut lip from it, but I was so grateful for it, and I just wanted to go out with a big swing and prove to all of them that you didn't just put no effort into that car for no reason. You put the effort in, and I drove it, and I made sure I did it with style, like I said in my interview.
You did, and it's fun. It's fun for us to get to see people achieve stuff. Obviously, Charlie Verhoeven is one of those guys as well, who's you know, all of a sudden he's gone out there and he's got 2 feature wins out of 1 week. And that seems like that's what could happen, right? You all of a sudden hit gold and your confidence. How confident do you feel now that you've gone out and you've done it? I mean, you can't go out and say that you haven't anymore. You have a heat win.
Well, it's boosted my confidence a lot. I hope to actually succeed. Like, I mean, I held out on pole for the longest while, and from the longest
You
while, it was
did
three and
lead.
12.
You did lead in the feature, so that does count. I mean, I think it was the next lap they got you, but I mean, you were in the lead, and you held off the field for at least that first bit of the feature. How hard is it though to stay with those guys that are at the top of the field?
Well, I will say a lot of them are a lot faster than I am. And so, I mean, I got a little bit of bumping and banging, but rumbling is racing.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it gave me a little bit of tap, but it just made me realize that I just got to keep pushing. I can do it. I can do it. I can stay up there with everybody else. I just have to keep doing it. I have to keep making my lap times, keep making those markers, and keep setting myself boundaries and goals.
Yeah, and you did this, and that's I think what people might not understand is that you also have the pressure of having the division partner on your race car, and to do that, you get a heat win with Lifto on the car in their own division. You're doing things that partners want to see, right? They want to see some success. And the first thing you said in that interview is, "I want to thank Lifto." Like, I want, or no, you. The best part about that was you stopping Jeremy, who was gonna throw back to the tower, and you said, "I have to recognize my partners." Because you know what? A lot of the times people on TV would just kind of say, oh, okay, well, but you made sure that he stopped talking and you got your partners in there. Um, Lifto has been a new partner to the racing scene. They've been with you now. This is their second season. How awesome was it to get to take your Lifto Limited car into victory lane in their division?
Well, I can be honest. Lifto definitely saw that win. I got a
Awesome.
bunch of text messages from everybody just congratulating me, and I was like, I did it for everybody around me. All the people that put in the effort. It wasn't just about me, it was
Yeah,
about everybody else that night, because there was so much throughout this whole season, the different changes, the
yeah,
improvements, just to get me there and to finally succeed to that goal.
yeah.
Like I think I've been saying it for the past, I think, 3 years maybe now. But if I finally did it. And
Well, and that's exactly it. I mean, your parents were there. Your were your siblings there? Were Keegan and Paisley there too?
unfortunately, they weren't there. I wish they
Oh
could have been
no.
there. But they impressed me the next day on
Yeah.
Sunday with
Yes,
all
they
their
did.
finishes.
Yes, they did. I mean, seeing Keegan getting a podium finish as well in the 9 horsepower sprints, Paislin's getting better. I mean, for yourself as a sister, you're seeing your siblings come along, following your footsteps, and as your mom mentions here, Chris Soares, what he said on after your interview was really what you want to hear an announcer say, which is, "Wow, I want to talk to Hannah Lamont. Like, I want to hear from her." And that's one of the reasons why you have partners that you do. I mean, one of the reasons why SNS is a partner is because of that. It's all about the approach, and you guys have a very good knack at showing off not just what racers can be on the track, but what they can be off of the track. It's just as important. And you know what? I think for only fours, that's a good soundbite. I think for them, for Rich, I mean, this is exactly what he wants people to see. Um, Bone stock racers show their personality off. It's important, and you got to do that tenfold. And we're really excited to see more of it. Unfortunately, though, we don't have any more time because we're in 10-minute blocks, Hannah. But we're going to be excited to watch you out this week. Who do you want to thank for everything that's happened this season so far?
Well, I gotta thank my mom. I gotta thank my dad. I gotta thank my boyfriend Aiden, who's been a huge help this year. And I also gotta thank Joe for who also redid the whole hood. He even made the Liftos logo bigger this time, and I
Nice.
was so happy with that. And on top of that, we added a new partnership to our car, C'est La Vie, who does hair, by the way, in London, Ontario. She
Perfect.
does amazing hair, and she actually did my brother's haircut. If anybody ever watched Lamont racing and seen his haircut style, that was her. And little arrows as well. That's why I apologized originally. I had forgotten them in the moment, and I felt so guilty about it because I want to congratulate all my sponsors, and Lifto is another big one, and um uh RV photography and LSV photography, and Leaf Racewear was another one I forgot. They've given me so much with partnerships and people who've been on my car. You guys as well. Like, I couldn't believe that. That's so shocked to me.
Well, Hannah, you know what? You've got more races to go. Um, we're excited to see what you can do. Keep doing what you're doing out there. It's awesome to see. I know ladies of the Oval were very impressed and very happy to see that. And as we are at SNS, it's anytime that we get to see a driver succeed and build on what they're doing is just the best feeling in the world. So keep doing that. We can catch Hannah Lamont, Bone Stocks. Again, it's a doubleheader weekend out at Delaware Speedway. Rogers TV has your Friday night. Saturday night is your Racing America, your APC Oscar events. Hannah, best of luck this weekend.
Thank you so much, Kim. I hope you have a wonderful night.
Thank you very much. That is Hannah Lamont. What a great guest. She's excellent. I love to see her out there at the racetrack. She does a great job repping the brand, and you know what? She's definitely getting better and better out there. And speaking of getting better and better, coming off of a win this weekend out at Full Throttle Motor Speedway, in what has been actually a very close hot rod battle, is Brian Wilson Jr., who joins me now at Full Throttle Motor Speedway. It's kind of hard to get past that 47 car, but you did it, my man. You did it in style, really. It was kind of yours from start to finish. So, Brian, how's it feel, man, to knock one out of the park so early in the season?
You can hear me all right?
Yeah, man, we got you.
Yeah, it's definitely a relief. Like the last month, I've been kind of edgy. Like, I need to win. I need to win. I need to win. Because last year we were I don't want to say kind of on the back foot. Like, the motor was kind of lazy, but we pushed through it. I won a race with it, so can't be that bad.
Yeah, not bad to start. And I believe it's Dad's got one and you've got one to start the year. Am I right on that?
Yeah, I started this thing. I have a white marker, and over every future winner sticker, I write junior or senior so that we know who won which race.
And it's been you guys don't have a mini one this year yet though, right? It's just the hot rod.
Just the hot rod, yeah.
Just the hot rods. So we do also want to mention that the hot rods, there is a hot rod for sale. Or not hot rods, sorry, mini stock. There's a mini stock for sale still that they're looking at trying to get two hot rods, and I want to see Wilson Senior and Junior against each other because that's what the real fans want to see. We don't want to see you guys share it. Why do we want to see you guys compete against each other? How hot was it out there on the weekend?
It was pretty hot.
Yeah.
Sitting in the car is never fun. Just waiting
Yeah.
for the race to finish. That's always like kind of the worst part of it.
Well, and if I'm not mistaken, Varney you guys get a good amount of heat anyways. Most weekends, like it's normally pretty toasty up there, and if you add the humidity and constant sun, did you get any weather at all? Any sort of cloud cover, or was it mostly sun baking all day?
It was raining
Okay.
for like from like 1 to or from like early morning to like 2 o'clock. They got it dried pretty fast. Thankfully. So practice, we didn't get a lot of it. I only got one practice session, but that's all I really needed. The car was on rails all day. We didn't make a single adjustment like throughout the
Really?
entire day. Yeah, we made the biggest adjustment we made was in the shop. We went from a 650 gear to a 633, and that just really helped plant the car when you're getting on the gas. It's not as much wheel spin, which was kind of what we've been struggling with all year, just snapping loose when you get back on the gas.
Well, and obviously that the full throttle is a momentum track. Like you can't really let up, and if you do, people are going to they're going to get gone. Like you have to stay within the rest of the field. That's the hardest thing. I know the last couple of weeks you and Thomas, your dad and Thomas really haven't gotten too far away from each other. Like it has been pretty much a bumper or two, and if you wanted to, you guys could have made contact. You didn't, thank goodness. But um, that's the type of racing that is what people want to see. They don't want to see somebody go out and lap the field. I mean, you kind of got out there. And you did that this time around. But what we're saying is that is easy to do in fields that are a little bit smaller. This week was a little bit bigger, though. You guys did have a couple more cars out there joining you, making the racing what it is. But you do have plans this weekend. This is a big weekend for you guys. That 14 car is going to be out. Are you still planning on going down to Delaware for the Oscar event?
Yeah, we are. Today was not ideal with how hot it was.
Yeah.
Practice being canceled, so that kind of sucks. But we've got all we need for it. We just need lap time or seat time.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm not going to be driving it at Delaware on Saturday. Senior will.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm hoping that I get to drive it for the Great Canadian Weekend if everything all goes well. Yeah, I'm not excited about it at all because I just don't want the car to get hurt because Delaware does that to a lot of cars.
Mm-hmm.
And Lamont was just on here and she talked about it. Yeah. So hopefully we don't break anything or bend the car in any way. Like, Dad's excited. I'm not.
Well, I mean, that's maybe there's an opportunity, who knows, like to get down and do it like a test session or something ahead of time. I'm sure there will be something, do it like a V8 or whatever, V8 stock or something. That's typically what you see the hot rod guys doing. But the obviously the challenge this weekend is the setup change from going from Varney to Delaware is completely different. Luckily, you guys will have Thomas out there with you as well. But for yourself, you've knocked down the feature win to start the season. You both have one. What's the outlook for this year? Obviously, you're still going to contend for the battle, like the battling up front right now at to full throttle, but full Oscar for the rest of the year, or maybe limited. Like, what's the plan there?
We like to run both. Obviously, money's a big part of it.
Yeah.
Dad's made jokes about we're just going to keep going until we run out of money. We're hoping that we can do both of them. It's kind of been a little bit of a tough situation with Oscar. Just, Flamborough was brutal.
Yeah.
We didn't really have any sort of speed there. Sauble was better, but still chasing. So we're gonna try our best, and hopefully we can make something out of it.
Well, I just want to put it out there again. There is a mini stock that these guys they have for sale. It is a pretty well winning car. It has won quite a lot at Varney. But it is also, I believe it's previously run somewhere else. I don't think it was just a Varney car in the past, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. But it is a great looking piece. It's a fast piece. Both of you guys have won in it. And like I said, I want to see two of those number 14. Well, I don't know if you would run 14 and 14, but I want to see two of those hot rods out there. Brian, who do you want to thank? Because you guys obviously are in this championship battle once again. at Varney. You guys cannot get away from Thomas. You guys can't get away from the championship battle. It is always you two out there. So, who do you want to thank for making it all possible?
Obviously, first of all, our sponsors, Two Speed Motorsports, Alliance Roofing, Locals Auto Parts, you guys for doing all you do. My dad, he works his ass off in the shop, getting the car ready. Jason Tolden, he helps out a lot. He won a race at Ush Weekend
He
on
did.
Friday.
He
And
did. Yes.
the first thing I said to him, because we rib each other back and forth nonstop, it's kind of crazy. The first thing I did after I did my victory lap and pulled into victory lane, I called Jason over to the car. I was like, you know what? I got one. You got one. Who gets the next one?
Well, I think I don't know. That's tough. He's got a good field he's got to get through. You have a good field that you got to get through. I think if you pull off an Oscar win though, that kind of that would do some good there. When will we see you in the Oscar events next? Is it just the Delaware that you've got planned for right now, or are we going to see you before that?
We have a schedule.
Yep.
So Dad's gonna run. Well, he ran Flamborough,
Yep.
the Bill Zarner Memorial. I ran at Sauble. Dad's gonna go to Delaware, and then I think the next race is Varney, which I'm doing that, and
Okay.
then the first Peterborough Speedway race, he's gonna be driving the car, and then the second Sauble race we kind of don't know yet. That day falls on Dad's birthday. I want him to do it. I don't know if he wants to do it or not. And kind of shaky there. I think the next one's what? Brighton, I think.
Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna go to that because that's the same day the Dave Wilson Memorial is at Varney. So hopefully we can get somebody to run our number for us there. And then second Delaware race, Great Canadian. I hope to be doing that. Frostfest is kind of up in the air. Don't know if we're going to go to that or not, but ACC, you will see Brian Wilson Jr. in the 14 at Autumn Colors.
That's what I wanted to hear, and that's where we're going to end it. Brian, thank you so much for joining me. Congratulations on the feature win this past weekend. Can't wait to see you back in victory lane for more.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, that's our friend Brian Wilson Jr. Victory lane once again this week. And speaking of victory lane, someone who has got winning down pat and is has found his way to a different track in a different car and still found himself in victory lane, did it twice this weekend, and that is Captain Chris Lawrence, joining us here on the show. Chris, how are you doing tonight, buddy?
Not too bad. Can you hear me there all right?
Yeah, we got you solid. Nice
Perfect.
and clear. So, we've been talking the whole off season and the start of this season, and you've been working on this hot rod for quite a while. And old Barbara worked pretty good for you out at Grand Bend. She looks great. And she got two victories. Let's talk about that. Obviously, Grand Bend trying out this Cobra tire series. First experience with the hot rod there, I believe, and it worked out pretty well for you. What did you think about what was going on out at Grand Bend this weekend?
Unfortunately, we were all kind of victim to the heat.
I was going to ask that next,
and the
actually.
car included. It was a hot one. The racing was a lot of fun. It was kind of I went over and talked to Ed, the other hot rod there, and more or less it was just kind of a good shakedown for both of our cars. We went out and had some fun, and both cars went on the trailer in one piece. So it was a good time.
The big question has been in the racing community a lot of the times are the big cars doable at Grand Bend? You raced it with Ed. I thought the battle was actually really fun to watch. I caught the second feature. I missed the first one, but the second feature, it looked like a lot of fun, but I have a feeling like you couldn't put more than a certain amount on that track. There's not really a lot of places to go, but it looked like it was a lot of fun out there.
Yeah, it definitely was It's a tighter track. I
Hmm.
definitely feel like there's a certain number, like you say, on
Yeah,
how many cars you can really do comfortably.
that's
And
the
it
key
and
word. Yeah,
it all depends on how guys want to race it.
true.
If you're okay with kind of giving up a little bit of speed to run side by side and keep it clean, that's fine. But not everybody likes to run kind of in place and in file, and that's fine too. So it just kind of dictates how the racing will go.
Hmm.
I think it definitely could be a fun option for sure.
I think you know what they're doing right now. I mean, I can't deny that, and I don't think anybody can deny they are putting in a ton of effort to try and promote and make that track bigger than what it has been. You are out there supporting them week in and week out. I think the total was 3 bone stocks this weekend.
We had four because Gary brought up the ion.
Right, right. You had 4 out there. Um, and you know what I will say is the bone stocks can definitely put on a great race there. They look way more fun. I believe I believe Sarah was driving the Misfit machine, which again I've told you before is my favorite bone stock that you've
Yeah,
done. I mean it's
we had an audible driver swap on that one.
oh okay.
Craig Cole was actually behind the wheel of that
Oh, okay.
one.
So
He
that they were
kind of
saying
really
they were
couldn't sit in
announcing
the
it as
pit.
Sarah the entire time,
Yeah.
but um so either way, seeing the car out there, the misfit machine that you guys have labeled it. First off, creative, love it. Kids love it. And I'm just a big kid at heart. Uh, yeah, the 50 car out there, Culver, Justin was racing for you. You had Gary, who was in the battle basically for the win. Um,
Hmm.
it it shows that you can have some really good battles out there. It's tight. You've won in the bone stock before at
Yeah.
this track. So again, comparison between hot rod and bone stock, easier to drive, I would assume, is the bone stock around Grand Bend.
Yeah, the pace is a little more fitting for the track.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when you look at the lap time, some of the smaller carts and the mini trucks and stuff like that get going pretty comparable to the super stocks and the hot rod speed.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but again, the size of the vehicle fits the track a little bit different. So I prefer the bone stock myself,
Mm-hmm.
just because I feel like you can comfortably race a dozen cars there and still have really good racing throughout the field.
Yeah, I really feel that they're doing their best to push it. Rick Ingram says, "Hey, Captain, great job on the weekend," um, and you know what? It is. It's great to see that you guys are out there supporting them. I'd like to see like I think 12 would be amazing if they could do it. If we could get 12, we were close. I think we got up
Yeah,
to 9 this weekend.
I think that's how many there was. It
Yeah,
wasn't a bad field. Again,
no,
the heat kind of killed it for everybody.
yeah. I imagine that would have been the toughest part being out there because there's no shade at all at that track. Like you were in the middle of the sun the entire time. So um it is one thing that I'm hoping we'll get to see. Do you recommend other bone stock racers get the opportunity? One thing I've kind of put out there is I think it's great to hone your skills. I think we've seen a lot of racers go out there, former competitors like Cody Wilds and Hannah Lamont and Keisha Zimick, Mason Culver. They've all talked about growing up at this track, and this is what um, helped them out. And I kind of think that those guys at Delaware that maybe don't run in the top 15 should give it an opportunity and try, right? What you've raced
Even
it.
if you're running up front, guys
Yeah.
like Donovan Clark have come out. It's a different kind of track. It's worth trying.
Hmm.
I mean, if you have a race car, we did it this weekend. You can race Friday, Saturday, Sunday if you choose to. So it's one of those things that I really wish a few more people would look at the other track schedules because
Yeah.
I mean, their cars are just sitting, and there's only so much summer, and why not go out and race them?
Well, and we want it to be supportive. I don't want to see Lucas and Hannah Hamilton who race out there. I don't want to see them just two cars. I think they benefit more from seeing, having like they saw like David Rockwood was out there,
Yeah.
Chad Prue was out there, um, Jordan Wilms was out there. Like those are stout racers. Those are people that they can really learn from, and not at the grand scale of Delaware Speedway, where it can be hell. We saw last week. It can be treacherous there and
Well, I was gonna
destroy.
say, I don't know if you've seen the replays of Lucas out there, but he was teaching a few of us some things out there. He's
I'm
pretty
telling
quick.
you that he is so impressive. He is. I forget his age sometimes because he goes out there and he outran. I think he outran
A
you, did
lot
he
of
not?
us. A lot of us.
I
A lot
think
of us.
I think there was a bunch of you guys out there that I'm like, well, I would
uh,
expect the opposite, and but
nope, he held his own.
that's what he did, and he that day he actually, it was like heat feature, like he just no one beat him that entire race, and I definitely yeah, Donovan Clark says, yeah, definitely a fun, close Saturday track. I mean, Delaware guys, get out there. I mean, get more racing experience. Don't just do the Fridays, and hell, go out there. If you don't want to go to Grand Bend, go to Sauble. If you want to go to Sauble, go to Full Throttle. Hell, you want to make a long trip, go to Peterborough or
Yeah.
Sunset.
Flamborough's just
You know,
down the road.
Flamborough, and they routinely put on a great show out there.
Yep.
So,
It's an easy way to run 2 features, 40 laps, or 40 or 50. I can't remember if they're running
40.
25s right
Yeah.
now.
Oh, maybe you're right.
But
Yeah.
either way, it's a good way to get seat time and to
Yeah.
race your car.
Well, Chris, obviously we're big fans. I'm a big fan of anything Chris Lawrence, and I was wearing the Chris Lawrence shirt, and that must have been the good luck because you pulled off a double feature win, and it really was a great weekend for you. A second in the heat, second in the feature in Paul Fothergill's car, and if you haven't watched it, Fothergill Racing on YouTube has the full in-car footage. Um, it was
Uh-oh.
fun to watch, buddy. It was fun. Chris, best of luck for the rest of the season. Thank you for joining me tonight.
Thank you.
That is our friend Chris Lawrence. Captain Chris is he's putting the effort in every week to put cars on the track, and man, it's so nice to have him just helping out the racing future really. We've had a couple of his racers on our show before, and it's been awesome. And speaking of awesome, why not have the guy who I haven't officially put it out there on social media, but I think we can claim it. You're probably the best super stock racer at the moment. I mean, definitely on the hottest streak. Carson Nagy coming off of an epic battle with Trevor Culver at Delaware Speedway that on Friday night, man. That was probably the best super stock race I've ever seen. And I thought you, Lane, and Sean Chenoweth put on a clinic previously. That's probably the best three-way battle I've seen, but this one was, wow. Carson was, I mean, you said it in the interview. It was fun.
Yeah, man. Honestly, looking at it after the race there, I didn't realize how rough it was between me and Trevor.
Oh, it
Like,
was.
Yeah, like just in the car, it all happened so quick, and like I said, it was just a ton of fun. I loved being a part of it, and I'm glad we were able to put on a good show.
Well, it was funny because people were going like, "Oh my gosh, like take it easy, right?" And I kind of have to agree. It was getting kind of crazy, but at this rate, you and Trevor are the two kind of leading the way. Ryan Dyson got in there at towards the end, and I think he was banking on you guys actually wrecking each other, because there was a couple moments where you guys both. I don't know if it was just based off of what the camera was, but it looked like the track was really difficult with like for a lot of guys to keep control of the car. Was it slick out there? Was it greasy? Like what was going on with the track?
It was a little greasier than most weeks, it was a
Yeah.
little more humid than what we normally race with. So I did notice us sliding around a little bit more, but at the same time, for our cars and the super stocks, I think it puts on a way better race.
Easily. Easily. I mean, we've seen a couple of stinkers this year. I mean, it's happened. But to have races like that, I mean, it ignited a lot of comments, which is exactly what you want. I mean, sure, you're gonna have people on Trevor's side, you're gonna have people on your side, you're gonna have people like myself who don't give a shit which side you're on, just loving that it was the racing that we got to see. Now looking back, do you feel that the moves that were made were warranted and that things are cool between you guys, or is there payback coming in some capacity?
No, honestly, man, me and Trevor, we were giving it and taking it. It was tit for tat the whole race, and we laughed about it after because we looked at our cars all beat up and just kind of chuckled at each other, and it is what it is. You know what I mean? Just on to the next one, and yeah, hopefully we can have a couple more battles like that throughout the season. Really looking forward to the rest of the summer.
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely on a hot streak right now. Daco Superstock's been working out very well for you. You've been on fire with Delaware Speedway. Trevor was on a mission. Like we saw it from the start. I mean, he's had this division on lock for the last year. You were on it previously. What has been the turnaround for you? Because you were obviously that guy at Delaware Speedway in the Daco Superstocks. Kind of lost a little bit, I want to say. Now it seems like you got right back to where you were. So what was the change?
Yeah, honestly, man, I think the biggest thing that we changed this year is we're just going into every week looking to have some fun. There's been in the past years we've taken ourselves a little too seriously, but while we're competitive, we just want to go and have a great time at the racetrack. And we've been doing that so far, and it's been paying off a lot recently. I think this is the best start to a year we've had.
I believe you're right. Statistically, I mean, you guys are right there with Trevor. I think again, if he was in the Dacos, I'm just throwing it out there. It would be a lot more fun as well because let's be honest, it's been a little tough. The counts have been a little rough, but that's everywhere right now. Like that's the reality of it. You went out with Peterborough and put a whooping on the field. I think if there is an off week, you need to go and run the weeklies, the weekly super stocks out there, man, because I think they would get a kick out of racing against you. They might hate that they're racing against you because you're pretty good there. But what is it about Peterborough Speedway, man? You just seem to get around there um, so easily.
Honestly, man, I have no idea. I've only ever been able to get up there once or twice a year, and it's been a few years since we ran colors before we started running like the Dayco series. So we've only had the 5 races there the last 5 years, and whatever we're doing, it's working, it's paying off. I don't know if it's my driving style or if I just love that racetrack, but it's always a ton of fun getting up to Peterborough. I wish we could get up there a little more consistently. My dad back in the day, he used to run legend cars full time up there, so he loved it back then, and obviously it's passed on through me.
Well, and definitely you can see it. I mean, the reality is, doing what you guys do, touring the different tracks, is extremely difficult on the wallet. It's extremely difficult when you go out there and it's not the same track that you were just racing on. You have to do different setups. You have to do due diligence really beforehand because you're racing against a different competitive class of car. Obviously, the touring guys are typically the ones that they've got a little bit more in the bank, I think. I mean, the guys that aren't able to get out there, you get the weekly racers. Brad Laval giving you shit in the comments again, calling you the hack. But, I don't know, man. He looked pretty good, and he finished first and you finished 10th. So I don't know, Brad. But you got a good field of cars out there too. Lots of great competitors. And you know what? It's funny because you've got a kind of a group of people that are part of the Nagy crew. You've got yourself, Colton, Wally, and then throw in Ray. And every single one of you guys have been having amazing years so far. What the hell's going on? Because it's been like a dream season for all of you guys, really. I mean, multiple wins for, I think, every single one of you.
Yeah, I'm pumped for Wally. He's obviously had the couple years there. He's struggling, and he's really picked up the pace this year, and it's awesome to see him winning and having that success. Colton, I know he's been struggling the last couple years with his program, and it's cool to see him back on track where he was. And I'm really looking forward to getting up to Sunset and racing with him, and up to Sauble. I think we're going to put on a great show there too.
You know what? I really hope that we get to see a bit more guys into the super stocks. I think again, what Justin Collison has done for the Super Stocks out at Flamborough Speedway, that is exceptional. Obviously, you guys aren't really struggling out at Delaware Speedway for cars. You've always got competitiveness. I really hope that Pete Vanderwist and that team can get their stuff figured out, because I think that's the missing ingredient right now for a great battle. Obviously, Sean Chenoweth not being there is also hurting. I think anytime you get to see him out there, especially racing against you, is always so much fun. You, Elaine, and himself. Colton Everingham says, "I will punt your ass to the beer gardens, pal." So, that's some fighting between him and Brad Laval. Give me his car and we'll see. Oh, whew. Oh man. Well, I don't know what your reply is to Brad Laval, but I think I want to see Brad Laval behind the wheel of that 93. That would be kind of interesting. But what's up for the rest of the year, Carson? Still running for the championship in both the Dayco and Delaware Speedway, and then plans to do any invitationals?
Yeah, I've been talking to my dad, and we're hoping to try to get up to that 75 lap race at Sobel that Stewart's putting on. I'd love to get up there, and it's right before the Dayco race there. I haven't been there in forever, so it'd be nice to get some laps under my belt there again. Eventually, it'd be nice to get back to do autumn colors. I think we have a really good program up at Peterborough, and I think it'd be a lot of fun to get back down there Thanksgiving weekend.
Wally says, "Imagine the four of us banging doors in super stocks," and Colton says he would fall out of the seat, pal. So that's probably true.
Before Peterborough, me and Colton were joking around. He said, "Going out for practice, let's go fishing in the pond." And he's just going to take me and him over that backstretch fence, and we're just going to walk the rest of the day.
Well, I'm happy to see that you guys are continuing to, keep up your success on the racetrack. It's definitely a difficult thing. You've had obviously some partners come and go, but I want to give you the opportunity to thank people that have gotten you back into championship contention once again.
Yeah, I got to thank HumveeParts.ca, the Queenston Chevrolet, Overkill Enterprise, Tyler Liscombe. He's new. He came on board earlier this season. Pure Energy Dance Studio, my mom, my dad, I couldn't do it without them. My brother Hudson, he's been having motor issues, but we're in the shop every week helping each other out, trying to sort each other's cars out. And our buddy Nate Spinks, he got hurt last Friday night, and he's feeling a little bit better. He's coming out with us every week too, so can't thank him enough either.
I'm glad Nate is doing okay, because that was we were a little worried, because they I don't know if he knows that Rogers TV actually followed him right into the ambulance, so everybody got to see who it was that was hurt, which it's not. I don't really think they should do that, but either way, Carson, thank you so much for joining me, man. I appreciate it, and best of luck for the rest of this season. Hopefully, we'll be up there at sunset and get to see you. Maybe we'll travel down to Delaware at some point. It's been a while for us getting down there, and I miss it. So, but best of luck, and thank you for coming on the show, bud.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Hopefully, we'll see you guys down at Delaware.
All right, buddy. Sounds great. That Carson Nagy, he is again one of the best in the province. I will say. I think he is. Probably I really think, because he goes all over the place, that he is the top superstock racer in the province, bar none. I think he'd go out there and he is always somebody that battles for the wins, and somebody who has been battling for a long time, maybe not just for wins, but just getting the opportunities. And anytime I can start a video when there's a cat in the background, I'm happy. So Megan Mitchell joins us, and Megan's joining us following. You know what? I think it's been a really rewarding season for you so far, Megan. We've talked. It's been it's been a while since success has kind of been mainstream for you. Obviously it's been three or so years since you pulled off a feature win, and it's been a long claw back. And after your car went through, unfortunately, its end, and now you're in a different car. You went out there and you led laps this week and finished 6th, and then 13th in the other race. Solid comebacks this year. What has been the real story? Because obviously, we know that you guys race out at Flamborough every week, and there's something different. What is it?
I think it's just my mindset this year. You know, I it's no secret that I struggle with mental health, mostly anxiety, but I just kind of got to a point this year where I realized like I wasted my whole year last year by not taking chances or anything. So I kind of just got sick of myself doing that, and I had to hold myself accountable, and I'm like, there's nobody that's going to hold my hand and walk me through this. I know I can do it, and I need to just do it. So it's been a really slow comeback, but I think this past weekend is exactly what I needed for myself.
It's so rewarding, and people that aren't involved in motorsports, that aren't on the other side of it, one of the things that one of the reasons why we went really big with the Stickers and Scuffs racing family is because exactly what you had mentioned is that support is everything. And when people tend to forget, race car drivers are athletes. They put way more pressure on themselves than I think people realize, especially the fact that you guys go out there and you have had success in the past, and then it goes away, and then you don't know if it's ever going to come back again. And like you said, anxiety, I mean, we are very upfront about it, and I think that's what's really rewarding, is that it's not a fault to have anxiety. And I think there's still that stigma around it, that it is, it is frustrating that people don't get that, contributing to somebody's anxiety or making it worse actually is a terrible thing to do. And unfortunately, there's a culture in racing, I think, that still feels that it's necessary to bring people down when they make mistakes, and racing is what it is. It's a sport. You can't tell me that professional baseball players don't make mistakes, football players, hockey players, and there's, again, like I said, a stigma around it. Getting yourself into the right frame of mind is one thing, but you're also out there with 3 other family members.
Yeah.
And that not a lot of people can say that they go out there and do that. You have your dad, your sister, and your brother going out there. First off, is there anybody that cheers louder than you when they do well? Because I don't think so. And is it hard to have 3 family members on the track with you at the same time?
It is. And I do think I cheer the loudest, even from in the car.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. But it's hard. Like it took a lot out of me last year. If I saw something happen to them, like there was one time where my brother was parked in the infield and I was worried about him, and I was already being lapped, and I parked my car right beside him because I was worried. And it's taken a lot for me to realize like I need to keep going, but I know for all of us it's difficult. Like a few weeks ago in the wreck I was in, my brother was right behind me. He watched the whole thing. And when I wasn't getting out of the car, he's never had panic attacks, but he said he was so close to having a panic attack. Like it's hard in those situations, but then there's also the times like this past weekend, my dad was having fuel issues, and he was parked in the infield, and he was watching everything go on, and he was watching me have my most successful night, and he was cheering from in the infield. Like, so it's like it goes both ways. It's really hard, but it's really cool to be able to watch front row while we succeed.
Well, and you guys have a bit of a cool thing at Flamborough Speedway is, very much like Peterborough, you have a great Ladies of the Oval collection of racers. I think in the Bone Stocks alone you have 5 ladies or maybe even 6. You have yourself, Rachel, Courtney, who comes out, Caroline, Reese. Did I mention your sister already?
Yeah, Haley
Hill. So you've got 6.
And Tegan.
And Tegan, who's somebody else. So you got 7 in that field that's like 18 cars sometimes. So you think about how many women are out there. And this week, it wasn't just you and Tegan both got out there, and you led the majority of both races. And the confidence things that we've talked about for yourself, what I noticed on social media is the two of you guys pumping each other up and
Mhm.
talking how great, you know, things are. And I think that's one of the other things that people forget to do, that is they're not just competitors. They're people
Yeah.
just like you, and they're friends. And I mean, when people succeed, it is the coolest thing in the world. I mean, I remember your messages when Savannah Finley did well, and you're posting. I mean, you guys don't even race near each other.
Yeah.
She's at Sauble, and you're in Flamborough. But why do you make sure that you post and comment on other racers, especially the ladies, that when they succeed?
Because I know what it's like to not have the
Hmm.
support,
Yeah.
and it can be tough. Like it shouldn't matter. You should be able to keep going no matter what. But I also know what it feels like to have that support, and it's a really good feeling, and I want everybody to feel that. And it's like, even if I have a bad night, I'm still going to support everybody, and especially the girls. Like, I know what it's like for us out there, and I mean, I love these girls. Like,
Yeah.
I love racing with them. I love knowing that they're out there with me. Tegan, she's a sweetheart. I love her. Like,
Yeah.
she was one of the first ones to come down. Like, she started outside of me that last race, and I mean, even though I pulled away from her a bit, like, we still battled really close, and she was right there to come over and give me a hug and tell me, like, I told you you could do it. And just to support each other like that, it means the world to me to know that I have that support, and I want to give that to others too.
And it's starting to we're starting to see this on the other side of it too, is you have people that are so supportive that aren't racing. They're
Mm-hmm.
behind the scenes as such. You have Ashley McMartin from Lakeside Mobile Tire. She's doing amazing things for
Mm-hmm.
not just women but racing in general. Susie
Yeah.
Shepard always out there giving positive words to the ladies out there. Obviously Randy and Sam with Ladies of the Oval. Um, Yourself, you've now surpassed last year completely.
Mm-hmm.
You've got your best results, and I think already you had already been doing it. Your sister's already got better results than
Yeah.
last year. Your brother is competing for the championship. Your dad has a podium finish this year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for you guys, this has been a complete makeover from last year. But you told me that you guys, like, the work that your dad puts into this program, it's as soon as the season ends. And you
Mm-hmm.
guys put together, I think it wasn't all for new cars, but brand new looks. You went through all of them, and
Mm-hmm.
now you're seeing the rewards from it. Are there plans for you guys to ever leave kind of Flamborough and go and do a different track, or is Flamborough kind of home base and that's where you'll stay?
Flamer's definitely home for us. Like, it's
Hmm.
got our heart. It always will. It's where we all grew up. But there is talks of maybe going to a part-time schedule next year, because we would really like to try somewhere like Sauble and Peterborough. Um, we also want to try our hand on dirt. So
Nice.
Oshwegan it's right in our hometown area. So we would love to try that too. But it is also kind of depending on how this year goes. Like, we've had a good bit of success this year, and it kind of depends. Like, it's tiring with how heavy the season is, but if we do well enough, I think a lot of us are going to want to still push and see if we can do even better next year. So it's hard to say. We would like to try other tracks, though. There's talks of it.
Well, obviously, cat people, who is it that's behind you? Because I need to know.
That is Benjamin.
Benjamin. Well, anybody that knows the show knows Nala always has to be on camera. She wants to make sure that she got to be on here and say hello. Megan, the rest of the year, what's the plan for you? Obviously, you want to better your sixth place finish. Um, I think as somebody who's seen from the outside, just seeing that was amazing for you and
Thank
Tegan
you.
this week. I mean, just to see the girls go out there and kick ass and do great. is exactly what I want to see. Leo giving Tegan the opportunity. Obviously, you and your family team. Your sister's kind of gone out there the last couple of weeks and had podium finishes, and now you get out there and then you have your moment. Like it's just rewarding to see your dad's interview when he got his second place finish made me well up a little bit, because
Yeah.
that was where you could tell, all the kids are having their successes, and then he finally got his. How long had it been since your dad had either a podium or a win?
He had actually a good handful of podiums last year. He had, by technicality, a feature win in 2022, but his last like a win is a win, but
Yeah.
by not technicality would have been 1992, I believe, in the Beach
Wow.
Valley.
He's been
So
doing it that long, eh?
yeah. I mean,
Jeez.
like, he stopped for quite a few years while
Yeah.
we were growing up, but I mean, it's been a bit for him, and he faced a lot of issues with his car last year, and unfortunately, the new car is kind of having some issues too. So I feel horrible for him because I know
Yeah.
he has what it takes, but we'll get it there.
Yeah, I think you will, and that's what I love to see. And I'm so glad that you came on the show and we got to chat, because one of the things I've been doing is having feature winners on here. But what I'm wanting to do now is not just have people on here that win features every weekend. We got to have the good stories, and the good stories in racing mean a lot. And for yourself, this was obviously a good story, but you have some loyal supporters on your MRC team, and I want to give you the opportunity to thank anybody and everybody that helps your program and has helped you out.
First and foremost, absolutely my dad. I can fully admit I would not be here without him. I wouldn't have anything that I have in racing without him. My brother puts in a lot of time too in the shop. I'm not mechanically inclined, so him and my dad, they do a lot of this for us and with us. My mom and my sister-in-law and my brother-in-law and my boyfriend and his family, they are like massive supports when I just need somebody to lean on. And then my gran and papa, they're always in the pits helping, putting my window net up, making sure I'm okay, supporting me. And then my partners too, McTier Water, Graphic Design, Lift the Visor, Jomo Media, you guys at Stickers and Scuffs. DJD Gear has been big for me this year, and then Ashley McMartin has been extremely huge for us this year. I can't thank her enough.
It's always a privilege to get to chat with people in the racing community, but it's even more when it's somebody that has, what we say, that people might win features, but there's other people that win in other aspects. And this past weekend was definitely something, and I was hooting and hollering from here, and I know John Morrison was as well. So best of luck for the rest of this year for you and the entire MRC team, and thank you for joining me tonight, Megan.
Thank you, Cam.
Well, that is Megan Mitchell from Flamborough Speedway in their bone stock division. She joined me here tonight. And you know what? Thank you all who tuned in tonight. I know we're doing different things with different guests, and trying to keep people invested. It's the most important thing. But you know what I need from all of you guys, if you can, is to give us a thumbs up, give us a like, share our show, and most importantly, get out there and subscribe, please, to GeForce TV. GeForce TV is now under the 200 subscribers to 20,000 right now. We are so close to 20,000 subscribers. Please get out there and subscribe to the channel. I want to thank those who tuned in tonight, and I really, really appreciate all of you guys. We'll catch you next week. Hopefully, we'll see you out at a racetrack this weekend. Debating whether it'll be Peterborough or Sunset. Hopefully, it'll be Sunset, and hopefully, it won't be so hot. Hopefully, it'll be Peterborough. Hopefully, it'll be Sunset. Maybe Flamborough. I don't know. As long as we're going to a racetrack this weekend, that's all that matters. And I want to thank you guys for your loyal support. Keep it going. on GeForce TV all weekend long. Of course, you can get tomorrow Race Rivals Race Chat with Adam and Ross and Clinton Jeffrey. Ocean Weekend Racing and Little Low Racing with Micro Sprints. Definitely make sure you come and check it out. Only on GeForce TV. I've been your host, Cam K. Catch you all next week here on ONTrack Weekly.